Assalamu alaikum, dear students. How are you, students? I hope you all are fine. Now we are coming to our lesson. Today, the topic is expedition to Syria. This topic is from section Rightly Guided Khalifas. In this chapter, students will be able to discuss the problems faced by Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq as a first caliph, and he will be able to demonstrate answers of exam type questions to show understanding of knowledge. Dear students, can you tell me any verse revealed for Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq? Yes, in Quran there is a verse, for Allah did indeed help him when the unbelievers drove him out. He had no more than one companion. The two were in the cave, and he said to his companion, have no fear, for Allah is with us. Dear students, can you tell me any saying of Holy Prophet for Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq? Yes, the Holy Prophet said, the most compassionate member of my people towards my people is Abu Bakr. Osama's expedition to Syria. On assuming the caliphate, the first issue that Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq was called upon to decide was whether the expedition of Syria, which the Holy Prophet had directed to be sent under the command of Osama, should proceed to his destination or should it be abandoned because of the change in the circumstances following the death of Holy Prophet. The background of expedition was that in 629 AD the Holy Prophet had sent an expedition against the Syrian under Zayd bin Harith. In the confrontation that had taken place at Mota, Zayd had been martyred. The command was then taken over by Jafar bin Abu Talib. He too met martyrdom. Abdullah bin Rohawa, who next took the command, was also martyred. At that critical juncture, Khalid bin Walid took the command. By his superb strategy, he succeeded in retrieving the position and bringing back the Muslim forces safely to Medina. For this act of heroism, Khalid bin Walid received from the Holy Prophet the title of Saifullah, the sword of Allah. In 630 AD, the Holy Prophet himself led an expedition to Tabuk. The Byzantines avoided a confrontation with the Muslim army, which returned to Medina without any action. In 632 AD, on return from the farewell pilgrimage, the Holy Prophet ordered a detachment to be sent against the Syrians under the command of Osama, the son of Zayd bin Harith. Some persons objected to the command of Osama on the ground that he was merely youth of 19. Osama was very dear to Holy Prophet. He was the son of Zayd, who was an adopted son of Holy Prophet. The Holy Prophet accordingly loved Osama as a grandson. When the Holy Prophet entered Mecca after the peace of Hudaybiyah, Osama had the honor of sitting on the camel behind the Holy Prophet. Osama was very brave, and on the occasion of Battle of Uhud, he volunteered to fight when he was only a child. The Holy Prophet wanted the Muslims not to object to the command of Osama, for he was worthy of command. When the Holy Prophet fell ill, the detachment of Osama was encamped at Jorf, a few miles from Medina on the road to Syria. On account of serious illness of Holy Prophet, Osama delayed his departure. When the Holy Prophet died, Osama returned to Medina and sought further orders. Abu Bakr was advised that as at that critical stage in the history of Islam, most of the tribes had apostatized from Islam, and Medina itself was surrounded by the hostile tribes. It was not advisable to send the army outside the country. Abu Bakr said that it was the wish of Holy Prophet that the army should be sent to Syria, and this wish of Master should be fulfilled at all costs. When some of the companions retreated, the danger to which the Medina was exposed, Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq declared in unequivocal terms, "Who am I to withdraw the army that the Holy Prophet had ordained to proceed? Come what may. Let Medina stand or fall, the Caliphate live or perish, the command of Holy Prophet shall be carried out." The view of Abu Bakr was not based on any obstinacy or foolhardiness. It was based on ideal loyalty to the Holy Prophet, envisaging the carrying out of his wish, coupled with the faith that whatever the Holy Prophet had ordered was in the best interest of community, against the firmness of the stand of Abu Bakr. The companions of Abu Bakr could offer no argument. Command of Osama. It was contended before Abu Bakr with the considerable vehemence that in the case the expedition was necessarily to be dispatched, therefore there should be a change in the command, and some veteran and seasoned general should be appointed as the commander instead of Osama. Omar was commissioned by the companions to put up his demand before the Caliph. Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq listened attentively to what Omar had to say and then said, "Omar, Osama was appointed by Holy Prophet, and you want me to veto the appointment made by Holy Prophet? Does it lies in your mouth to take such a recommendation? How can I, as the Caliph of Holy Prophet, cancel an order made by Holy Prophet after due consideration?" For this act of heroism, Khalid bin Walid received from the Holy Prophet the title of Saifullah, the sword of Allah. In 630 AD, the Holy Prophet himself led an expedition to Tabuk. The Byzantines avoided a confrontation with the Muslim army, which returned to Medina without any action. In 632 AD, on return from the farewell pilgrimage, the Holy Prophet ordered a detachment to be sent against the Syrians under the command of Osama, the son of Zayd bin Harith. Some persons objected to the command of Osama on the ground that he was merely youth of 19. Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq directed the army to depart on its mission. Abu Bakr went to the Jaf to bid farewell to the army and addressed them in the following terms: "See that you avoid treachery. Depart not in any wise from the right. Do not mutilate anyone. You should not kill children, women, and old men. Do not injure the date palm. Do not burn it. Do not cut down any tree wherein there is food for men and beasts. Do not slay the flocks of herds of camels, save for needful sustenance. You may eat of the meat that the men of the land may bring to you in their vessels, making mention thereon of the name of Allah. Do not molest the monks in the churches and leave them to themselves. Now march forward in the name of Allah. Fulfill the mission entrusted to you. May Allah protect you from sword and pestilence. Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq walked for some distance alone with the army to see it depart. Usama, who was riding on the horseback, prayed that he should be permitted to dismount, or the Caliph should also ride on a horse. Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq said, "No, neither should you dismount, nor would I mount a horse. You ride in the service of Allah, and I shall account to Allah for these steps that I take in your company." The campaign. The army of Osama left Jaf towards the close of July 632 AD. After a 10 days march, the Muslim army penetrated into the region of Wadi al-Qara and fell on Banu al-Khuzda and other border tribes. Osama rode on his father's horse Sabah. He sought the person who had killed his father at the Battle of Mota, and having recognized him, put him to the sword. The Byzantine forces avoided confrontation with the Muslim army, and the border tribes left to themselves were no match for the Muslim forces. They were thoroughly discomfited and hastened to offer allegiance to the authorities at Medina. The expedition proved to be a great success. It secured the safety of the frontier with the Byzantine and averted the threat of any attack from Byzantine. The success realized that Islam was not dead with the death of Holy Prophet, and that the Muslims were strong enough to meet all emergencies. Osama's army returned to Medina laden with considerable booty. On return to Medina, the army of Osama was given a tumultuous welcome. Now, students, we are coming to the past paper question. The past paper question related to this topic was give a detailed account of expedition to Syria during Caliphate of Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq Rasulullah Ta'ala Anhu. Dear students, I hope now you are able to compose your answer of level 4 after this lesson. Thank you students. With me, Allah Hafiz.